Howdy mates, good late morning. It is Sunday, August 8th, 2021. I'm over at the Jelks Preserve, which is also near Venice, Florida. Not too far from the Sleeping Turtles Preserve. So we're essentially in a similar type of habitat, which you can see around me, which is your hammock. But that's not the focus of the video. I actually want to introduce a plant to you guys right up here. And shout out I want to give to Pete Canaris. He is a fellow gardener who is well known in the state of Florida, and he has been known to cultivate this particular plant. He has like a whole nursery, and honestly, I really hope I can meet him at some point in the future. That would be awesome. But here, we've got the Calicarpa americana, also known as the American Beautyberry. So here's a fascinating thing about this plant. So as you can see, the leaves sort of have like a, as I like to call it, sort of a compass formation, as you can see. You know, they have like the north, south, west, east leaves, and essentially it kind of forms a little bit like a cross. So it's actually really cool to look at. However, though, I cannot remember the exact name of the arrangement of the leaves, you know, when it has the pattern like this. But it has like a very sandpapery feel. It is a little serrated along the edge, but that's not the main focus of the plant. It actually has to do with the berries themselves, which typically have like a purplish color, as you can see. Now, you may be wondering, can we eat it raw? Yes, you can, indeed. However, you have to be moderate. You don't want to eat too much of this at once, because if you do, you may experience a little bit of nausea and even diarrhea. So you just maybe take one at a time, and let's sample it right here. And there we go. It actually has a bit of a sweet flavor. And it's very short too. It's a very short sweet flavor, and then it pretty much becomes bland. So generally, the American Beautyberry is generally used for jellies, especially down here. But not only that, but it's had a significant use for our Native Americans down here, especially among the Seminole and the Calusa. What they would do was actually from the roots of this plant, they would use it to, they would boil it and use it in sweat lodges. For those of you who are not familiar with what a sweat lodge is, it's basically a tradition in which it helps them to relax. That's like the gist of it, but obviously there is more to it. But generally, they would use it to help treat rheumatism or even fever. And not only that, but even for the berries themselves, you can actually use them to help with baby colic. And for those of you who are not familiar with what baby colic is, it refers to a condition in which a baby may experience distress, but otherwise they're actually very healthy anyways. It just seems to be a normal thing, especially among babies when they develop. So those berries can actually help calm them down, as it were. So that is something, you know, some of you guys could use. But yeah, they generally, when you look along the stem of the plant, it is relatively smooth, kind of, sort of, but not fully. But another thing about the beautyberry too is, you know, you can get a leaf, for instance, take that off, and apparently there's a particular chemical on this leaf where you can actually rub it on your skin, and it can actually help repel mosquitoes who are around or nearby. However, though, in terms of, its effectiveness, it may not be 100% effective, but, it could be effective to 60 or 70% as an example. So, if you're ever out here in these hammocks like I am right now, it could perhaps be useful if you don't have insect repellent. But another thing that hammocks are highly subjected to is the digging. You see these little bits of holes right here that are in the ground where it looks a little dug up? Well, that is not human work. That is actually the work of feral hogs. And feral hogs are actually invasive to the state of Florida. I believe they're actually native to Asian regions, but I'm going to double check on that. But I just know that they are invasive, and they're actually one of the worst invasive animals in Florida. Because look, right here. They basically like to dig for grubs. That's like one of their main sources of diet. And so in the process, they'll basically dig up as much as they have to so that they can feed on what they want. But yeah, look at this. Yeah, it's very detrimental, especially to our native plants in this region, as it really does not provide an opportunity for native plants to grow. But yeah, generally, feral hogs, they might be up to maybe 4 or 5 feet long. It just really depends, whether it's a male or female. But I believe generally males are a bit larger in size. So, alright. I hope you guys learned something of value regarding the American Beautyberry and what feral hogs can do to a particular habitat over time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.